Hello, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode. It is episode number 321 for August the 26th, 2025. We're coming up to the Labor Day weekend, which marks the unofficial end of summer because those kids are going back to school. And I know in some jurisdictions, they've already gone back. But here in Ontario, they don't go back until the day after Labor Day. So let's take a look at what I have been up to, shall we? So here we go. You've seen it before, but it is all completely done. This is the Halloween mini quilt, as it's called by Designs by Juju. I believe it's Designs by Juju. I never remember which one it is. Anyways, I think that's it. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I did the 4 blocks with the pumpkins in them. And then I added 3 borders. I've got that little inner border, the very narrow edge orange border, which looks sort of like a faux flange, maybe. If it was a little smaller, it'd be a little better, I guess. But I wanted to separate it out from the more busy, detailed printed border, the printed fabric, directional fabric. That's the word I want to use. Brain fails me this morning. Why should today be any different, But I did make sure that I got all the pumpkins' faces going the right way on this. And then, of course, I put a backing on it, and the backing, you can see it. It's what I use for the binding as well. And it is not specifically a Halloween fabric that I used on the back, but it was sort of a blacky gray swirly pattern, and it's what I had, and I didn't really want to go out and buy, special fabric that had Halloween theme, because I would have probably had to piece it to fit this quilt, because this quilt is about 51 inches square. And finding, wide back, which is what I usually prefer to put on the back of a quilt. Well, finding a wide back in Halloween, that's pretty scarce if you can find it at all. But I'm really happy the way it turned out. Now, this is not really a cuddly quilt. This is more of a display, a home decor kind of thing. And it will go on the, what do you want to say, decoratively draped, let's say over a couch arm or chair arm or something like that when we get into the month of October, as part of my Thanksgiving, fall, Halloween themed decorations at the time. And I did do something that I didn't know if it would work or not, and I'm sure you saw it on last week's So Chatty, where I showed you me quilting this quilt on Lucey, my long arm. And although, because this was an in the hoop project as far as the blocks were concerned, and they had built into it quilting designs, I quilted over top of it with an edge to edge design, and I just did a very light, wide, relatively wide, curvy line quilt design that I gave it texture. But as you can see, I used a very, very light thread, and you can see it in real life, but very faintly. And if you look in the white spots, you can see what I'm talking about. You can see the quilting in those up in, here. So, yeah, on these white spots. So anyways, I'm very happy with it. It's done, and it's waiting to have its premiere in my home decor come October. And I had to make this little guy. I got an email from Creative Kiwi, and they had a couple of cute gnome Thanksgiving Halloween characters that I haven't made yet, and I guess I got to get started with that, but more about the projects I'm working on right now, because I've got a lot. But he was there as well, and well, he's got a Canadian flag on him. He's the beaver, our national animal. How could I resist? And he turned out really nice. He's fairly large. He's about, 18 inches or so, might be a little bigger than that. And of course, you had to do him in 3 hoopings. And the thing about these designs is you sew them together, the pieces, in the hoop, and they have instructions for how to do that. It's really easy, a little tricky the first time you've ever done it, getting things to match up, but once you've done it once, it's really easy. And I kind of like that method, because that means then I don't have to go to my sewing machine and use it. It's like an extra machine to do this kind of thing. So Yep, I'm really happy with the way he turned out. And he is a shaved beaver. Okay, enough said about that. And of course, I am working on my Dollarama felt tote bags that I'm making into Christmas tote bags. This is the front panel of one. I have to take them apart. They're very easy to take apart. So they come apart basically the front and the back panel, and then the side bottom panel are all one panel. And they're a little tricky sewing them back together. Excuse me. Yeah. But now that I have done a couple of these, it's not, I've got it down. I know what I'm doing with this. So they do take a long time because I'm doing a fairly dense quilting pattern on them, or not quilting, but embroidery pattern. Like the one you see here on the front is over 99,000 stitches and multiple thread changes. So it takes me a good part of a day to do one side of the bag, and there's two. And yes, I have quite a few of these bags. I bought 12 of them. Do you think I'm a little obsessed with these bags? Well, I have to have at least 6 or 8 of them done before Christmas because these are going to be Christmas gifts. Ideally, I will do them all. And they might not all have a different design, but at the moment, I'm working on my third bag. This one is now done, and I've changed the design on it. So that gives me 3 bags with 3 different designs. I doubt I'll come up with 12 different designs, but I might come up with one more, and so there'll be, out of the 12, 3 bags of the same design, in groups here. So, yeah, I hope that made sense. Anyways, I'm loving doing these. If you're going to ask me where I get them, well, for Canadians, we get them at Dollarama, which is a major dollar store, although things aren't a dollar in there anymore. They had a lot of them. I bought out one of all the light ones. They come in 3 colors: light, medium, and dark gray. I have some of each. I really like the light gray, I think, the best. But yeah, I bought a lot of them now because if I wait till closer to Christmas or that, they'll be gone, and they may not get any more of them in. So I thought I'd better stock up now. And yeah, so that is part of the gifts that I am making for Christmas. Now you're going to say, Christmas? It's August. Yes, it is. It is August. There's only about almost only just 4 months to Christmas. Yeah. In fact, I think it was 4 months yesterday. Yesterday was August 25th. So what's that? September, October, November, December. Yeah, 4 months yesterday. Time's fleeting. This year is going by really fast. But, we say that about every year, don't we? So, anyways, I think that's all I've got to show you there. It is. So that turns our attention to what's coming up. Okay, Sewing with Stephen, as always, Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Eastern. Start, 4 p.m. Eastern. Finish. All are welcome. Come and go as you please. It's a Zoom. Links below. Pop-up Sew Day. Yes, this is a double this week. We've got Sewing with Stephen on Wednesday, and on this coming Saturday, August the 30th, we have a pop-up sew day. Those of you on my mailing list have got the link already, the Zoom link. And for the rest of you, you're in the show notes. The link is, not you. The link is in the show notes below. So all are welcome. Come and go as you please. Bring something you want to work on. Great time to get caught up. And I do realize it's Labor Day weekend, but I did an informal survey with some of my subscribers, and they told me, yeah, they didn't care. They don't do anything on Labor Day anyways, and kind of the same boat that I'm in. I don't do anything on Labor Day weekend either. So yeah, great time to sew with friends. So I hope if you've never joined a pop-up sew day, you are more than welcome to be here. And people are friendly, and we have a good time. There's no drama. Yeah, it's a very supportive group. So join us. Try us out. Okay, retreat update. As I said on Stephen and Walter Live on Sunday, I am very excited and very pleased that all of my presenters are lined up. I have Adam from Adam Sews. Now, if you've never checked out Adam, you should. He's in the UK. Wonderful sewist, wonderful quilter, very creative. Tula Pink fan for sure. So if you're a Tula Pink fan, you'll have something in common with Adam. And yeah, he's wonderful. I'm so happy that he agreed to do the retreat as a presenter, because for him it's 5 hours ahead of our time. So, he'll be presenting very early evening kind of thing, his time. So that was really nice of him. And I was able to land, and I was so surprised that they said yes, because I know they're both very, very busy people. Becca of Sew Becca and Ian of the Off Kilter Quilter. Say that fast 5 times. They said they would love to do it, and I was so happy, because you see, I don't pay my presenters because my retreats are free. Yeah, they cost me money, but that's okay. They're free. So there'll be more details if you've never been to one of my retreats before. I run one in the spring and one in the fall. This is the fall one we're talking about. Date, October the 25th. All the details about how to register for it and everything else you'll need to know will be coming out tail end of September. So yeah, you do have to register. Even though it's free, you do have to register. But it's really easy. But please don't try to send me an email and say you want me to put you on the registration list, because I won't. Not yet. I got to keep it fair, and I haven't yet told you the date when the registration starts. But I will tell you one thing. Do watch this channel for that announcement. And as I said, towards the end of September, because I usually have a waiting list and it fills up very quickly. And although I can handle about 95 people, at least over 50% are already registered the first day I open it up. And then it fills in very quickly after that. So if you snooze, you lose. So that's why I'm giving you advance notice that it's on October the 25th. It's an all-day event. We start at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and we go till 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So yeah, if you're hemming and hawing about, do I want to come or not, there are prizes. Did I mention there are prizes as well as presenters on this? Then when the registration starts, you want to make sure you get your name on it. But as I said, there'll be a lot more details before then about everything. Right now, I'm working now on the agenda for the day and some other technical issues that need to be taken care of. But I was really excited to have Becca from Becca Sews, Sew Becca, and Ian from the Off Kilter Quilter, and of course Adam from Adam Sews. It's going to be wonderful. It really is, with those kind of presenters. Okay, let's move on then to what did we do on So Chatty? Well, I've already mentioned it. We called it Let's Play with Lucey, and I showed you my process using Lucey to quilt with my long arm, because I know some people, if you have a long arm, you know all this stuff. Of course, you probably don't know it the way I do it, because, the simplest of things I can do with the greatest of complexity. And using Lucey is no different. Lucey and I have a love-hate relationship. You've heard me say this before. I love to hate her. She loves to hate me. If she's in the right mood, I'm in the right mood. We work well together. But that doesn't always happen. I must say, though, for the Halloween mini quilt, Lucey and I were in sync that day. Yep, only had 2 thread breaks. They were minor, no big deal. And, well, anyways, I did a video about all of that, and that was up last Friday on So Chatty. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. You might want to have it, bring a cup of coffee with you, because the video part of that runs about 38 minutes. Yeah. Okay. That takes me to subscribers quilt of the week, and this comes from one of our subscribers and a friend who lives in France, and this is Nadine Logan, and here is her most beautiful creation. This week's quilt comes all the way from France and from a longtime subscriber and friend, Nadine Logan. And she says this about this beautiful creation. She says, yesterday afternoon, I finally sewed the binding, and here's the finished quilt. The center of this baby quilt is an F project designed by Shannon of Slay Arts. The corners are FPP projects designed by Brenda of Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. And in between, I had fun adding different borders. I'm calling it the Shannon Brendan quilt, and I don't know who I'll give it to yet. The top was pretty quick to make. Hand quilting it took me ages. Someone told me that hand quilting is called stitching. Well, let me tell you something, Stephen. I'm the perfect example of very, very, very slow stitching. Laugh out loud. Love you, my friend Nadine. Yeah, Nadine, your creations are always beautiful, but I really love how you've done what I'm going to call a hybrid quilt, because you mix two techniques. You mixed words fail me. Foundation paper piecing is what I meant to say, and traditional piecing as well. And this is absolutely gorgeous. And here's a close-up she sent of the corner. And you can see that that's definitely paper pieced, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The colors in this quilt are absolutely gorgeous as well. Love it. Thank you for sharing it with us, Nadine. It's beautiful. Now, last week I conducted an interview, and I haven't done an interview for very long, but I had to interview this individual. His name is Clint Milner, and he has a brand new quilting channel on YouTube called The Boy Stitcher. And he is not a stranger to the sewing world, as you'll find out if you watch or have watched the interview. It is up, and there's a link for it in the show notes as well. He is also a cross stitcher. He's won awards for that, and he's just a really nice guy. Well, right now on his channel, as he tries to get it established, he has a couple, he might have a third video up now, I'm not sure. He's doing a series on foundation paper piecing. This is not a simple project he has picked. He's picked a fairly complex one, and I'm not sure how much foundation paper piecing he has done in the past. I have the feeling he doesn't consider himself an expert, but you know, you would never know that, because if you watch his video, and if you're like me, you're probably hesitant about foundation paper piecing. Well, I'm not hesitant. I don't like it, but it's just not my cup of tea. But for other people, they love it. But you know, my brain doesn't work that way, and watching Clint's videos on how he is doing this project with foundation paper piecing makes me rethink that maybe I should give it a go again, because he is an excellent instructor. So if you haven't seen the interview, there's a link for it in the show notes. It's well worth your time. But in the meantime, I thought I would review a little bit more about his YouTube channel. And this is called The Boy Stitcher Catch Me Quilt Chapter 1. This week's YouTube channel is a brand new one, and last week on this episode of The Idiot Quilter, I talked all about Clint Milner, who is the creator of this new YouTube channel, and he calls it The Boy Stitcher. And in this, he's doing a series on putting together a very beautiful quilt, and he's doing foundation paper piecing. If you saw the interview I did with Clint last week, you'll know that he is relatively new to the quilting, not new to the sewing world at all. He's done a lot of wonderful things in the past, and he's a brilliant cross stitcher as well. I think this channel is going to go someplace here. His style, in the way that he teaches or takes you along with his journey on his projects, is very clear, very interesting, and very well done. So if you are interested for now about foundation paper piecing, I definitely would suggest you check out The Boy Stitcher, but stay tuned for more videos, because I know he has a lot of other things planned for the future. Now, last week I showed you the thread catcher that my good friend Sue Norfleet, who's a regular on here, sent to me. It was a complete surprise, and I love it, and I have it right here. Well, that has got threads in it, because that's what it's supposed to be. But this is an In the Hoop project, an embroidery project, and she sent this to me, and I absolutely love it. I actually made an enhancement for this. I 3D printed a box to sit inside of it, and I did that for two reasons. One, it gives the thread catcher a little bit more stability, although Sue did sew into this some heavy-duty stabilizer, so that's not really a problem, and it's all lined in here too. But the other problem I find with thread catchers is, because they're made from fabric, your thread will stick to the fabric when you go to dump it. So this is a plastic box I did on my 3D printers, and the thread doesn't stick, and it's easy to dump it. Now, I was going to make a whole bunch of these because I downloaded the pattern for these. And so, well, here is what the pattern looks like. This week's future project is one that I'm working on right now, and I intend to give this as Christmas gifts if all goes well. But I wanted to share with you the actual pattern, even though I mentioned it last week. And this is the pattern for the Thread Catcher fabric box, which is a design by Sweet Pea Designs. And here you can see the actual page where you can order it. It may come on sale at some point if you're a little scared away by the price. Now that is in Canadian dollars, although they're located in New Zealand, but you can switch the currency to Canadian or American or whatever. But I digress. This is a neat little project. As you can see, it comes in two sizes, 4x4 and 5x5. I'm making the 4x4s, and I think it's really a nice little project, especially when you're looking for something as a gift for someone else. It's fairly easy to follow. The instructions, there are pages of them, but don't let that deter you, because part of the instructions, or each step in the process, has a picture, which makes it very clear how to create this. It is not complicated at all, and I would suggest, if you're a beginner to in the hoop applique, that this might be the project for you, because basically you do the same thing on all four sides of this little box. So you'll be an expert in the hoop applique in no time. So that's the Thread Catcher fabric box by Sweet Pea Designs, and I'll put a link to this in the show notes below. So that pattern is still available. There's a link below, and I think it may still be on sale as well, which is, oh no, I don't think it was on sale when I bought it, but they often have sales. So, you know, if you don't want to pay the full price for it, just hang on there for a few weeks. It'll probably come up on sale, because they usually do. I was going to make a whole bunch of these as Christmas gifts. I have changed my mind, and here is why. Take up too much time to make. It looks simple, and it is simple to make, but it's very time consuming because there's a lot of applique in it. So you're switching out fabrics, you're switching out thread colors, and all of that. And I just decided, no, one is enough. This is a unique gift from Sue, and yeah, I'm not going to make any more of them at this point in time. But you might want to. So all the information is in the show notes for that. Okay, so that takes me to what's twisting my seams. All right, I need some people to send me their ugly fabric, or the fabric that they're no longer excited about for twisted seams, because I just got some the other day, but I'm going to save that for next week. But then I'm out of it. And if I have to go through my own stash and pull these up, well, I'd like to see yours. I'm more interested in yours. So if you've got some fabric that's in your stash that you bought maybe some time ago, kind of forgot about it, but now you're looking at it going, why the hell did I buy that? Then take a picture of it and answer 3 questions. What attracted you to that fabric in the first place? Have you done anything with it, or what did you think you were going to do with it? And do you still love it or not? And just write that out. They're just short little questions, don't need to be detailed books. And I'll be happy to feature it on here. But for this week, I am featuring something out of my stash, which really isn't fabric I hate, because it's by one of my favorite fabric designers, Dan Morris. What's twisting my seams this week is this fabric. Now, this is a little different than what I usually say about what's twisting my seams. Usually I'm looking at fabric that I bought some time ago and loved it then, but do not like it so much now, or have never used it. Well, this one falls into a little different category. I like this fabric. In fact, I love this fabric. Yes, it is cannabis leaves, and it is rainbowy colors that blend into each other, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it's so beautiful, I bought about 3 or 4 meters of this fabric, and it's been sitting on my shelf forever. Now, it is by Dan Morris Design 2020, and I love Dan Morris's fabrics. I have quite a few of them, and I have made things from them. But this, I don't know. I think in my mind, I thought maybe Walter could make me a shirt out of this. Um, and he has made me what I call my weed shirt, but not from this particular design. And I think I'll leave it out now that I have found it again and maybe give it to Walter and say, hey, how about making me a shirt from this? Because I think there's enough fabric for this. But otherwise, I'm a little bit, well, I'm not really sure what I would use it in as a quilt. It would make a great bag as well. But so what's really twisting my seams is that I'm not sure what to do with this fabric, but I love it and I want to use it. So that's that for now. Okay, so what have I been working on this week? Well, this, that, and the other thing. In the title, I mentioned that I'm making gifts and there's projects to do. Yes, I am in full manufacturing mode right now. Basically, I'm trying to get ahead of Halloween. I'm trying to get ahead of Christmas. So I have all 6 of my 3D printers going at once. I have my embroidery machine going, and I'm cutting fabric for, and you can see 2 of the blocks, for the bed quilt that I'm making called Stormy Sea. Plus, I just did some pickling of our jalapenos, and I only got 1 jar. I kind of underestimated how much I could, or overestimated how much I could get out of what I picked the other day. So I have to do some more of those. Yeah, never a dull moment. Busy, busy, busy planning the retreat. Okay, planning pop-up sew days. Sewing with Stephen, sew days as well. Doing these. I'm never bored. Never bored. And I'm a retired person. Who has said retirement is for taking it easy? No, it's not. Retirement is to do what you want to do, and you'll find if you retire, you will find you're busier than you were when you were working. And believe me, I had people tell me that, and I didn't believe them. Guess what? I absolutely, positively believe them now. But anyways, I am digressing as I do. So I'm working on all kinds of little things. So, well, here's what I've been working on. So what have I been up to in the past week? Well, this, that, and the other thing. First of all, I'm working on these bags that come from the Dollarama that are $5 a piece, the felt bags, that I'm pulling apart and making into Christmas totes and then re-sewing them together again. This is going to take some time because these embroidered patterns I'm putting on them are a combination of a couple of different ones, and there's a lot of stitches, like right here. If you look at my stitch count, the one to the far right, it's over 99,000 stitches, and it takes over 256 minutes or something like that. So you can do the math on that one. But anyways, start now in August. They'll be ready by Christmas, I hope. I got 1 more block of the Stormy Sea quilt done. Not working very fast on that. I have cut out the next block. I've got the pieces ready to go. Probably work on that during the week as well. This one's going to take me a while to make because too many other projects happening at the same time, so I'm trying to split my time up between them. Over on the project table, as you can see, the pile is not getting any smaller. I've just added 2 boxes of indigenous fabrics that I showed, some of these that I had just recently purchased from a place called Along Cane Quilting out in western provinces of Canada. And yeah, I want to do something with those, but I'm not sure when I'll get to that because I have other things. I actually just found this box that's marked Christmas quilt, and I have all the fabrics in the box and the book, but yeah, I haven't done those. And I think those are actually the fabrics that one of my subscribers and friends, Julie, gave me. And there's one that's left over from about 2 Christmases ago that I've cut all the pieces out, but I haven't put together, and it involves gnomes, and it's a Christmas thing as well. So there's no lack of projects on my project table. Now, one thing I did, and I'm really pleased with this, is I created these 3D printed risers for this little table. And so you see now the table comes level with my extension table to the sewing machine. Why would I want that? Because when I'm binding a quilt, I need to have something out here to support the weight. And if it used to be 4 inches lower, and so the quilt would catch on the corner of this. And so now my theory is, I haven't yet tried it out, but I think it will work. It will keep things a little bit smoother running along that table. So I did quilt on Lucey this week, and you saw the result of that, and that's the Halloween quilt, and I was really pleased how that turned out, and did a whole So Chatty version of that. 3D printers are going, making more things for Christmas gifts. So this one's working on some little cute hot chocolate mugs with little marshmallows in the top of it, keychains. And I'm about to create this thing. I put it into the modeling program, but I'm trying to make this into a thread catcher, and I'm trying to put the name thread catcher on it as well. And I'm having some difficulties with that. Just for fun, I want to see how this was printed out, this Venetian mask, and boy, am I impressed. That came off the printer just like that. No finishing and very smooth, and I think that's great. Also, I ordered more filament. Of course I did. So, yeah, the order came today when I'm recording this. So, yeah, I might have a problem. I mean, I love fabric and now I love filament. So, yeah, a lot of that. But, you know, can you ever have too much filament in a variety of colors? No, you cannot, in my opinion. And of course, I did do the beaver, and there he is on the door hanging up here, and I love him. Yeah, it was a project from Creative Kiwi, New Zealand embroidery company, and with the Canadian flag and that. So I think that's pretty good. The question is he a shaved or unshaved beaver? He is shaved. Okay, enough said about that. That's what I've been up to this week. So that takes me to my review of an online quilt store. This one is here in Ontario. It is called Gem, G-E-M, Gem Sewing. This week's online quilt store is one that is located in Lescurd, New Lescurd, Ontario. I think it's Ontario. Yes, it's Ontario. And this is one I have never heard of before. Just my gut reaction is this has a very industrial feel in the front page of this, which makes me wonder whether or not this is something for the general public. Let's see what they offer. So they've got their homepage we're on right now. Save the date. They have print fabric design masterclass, cut and sew, build your basics, rework and rewear, wear the world. So some interesting classes that they have here going right into 2026. They have a quilt trip for $1,450. Let's see. Tells you it's bus fare, 4-day coach tour in St. Jacobs and Stratford. So actually that's Western, well, it's past now. It was May the 3rd, April 3rd to May the 3rd. So that's gone now, but that's interesting. Featured products. Okay. And yeah, okay. As I said, the front page has a very industrial feel. So down here they have shopping departments, fabric, classes, sewing machines, thread, notions, sewing machine accessories. So, and they are also an authorized dealer for Janome, Brother, Elna, Husqvarna, Viking, and Singer. Okay, so they've got them all pretty much. So let's go to fabric. They've got cotton, flannel, minky fleece, other character and licensed fabrics. Well, let's check out cotton. And we have some subgroups here, all cotton, pre-cuts, and children. So let's go to all cotton and see what we've got. Okay, it looks like we're starting off with solids, and their price looks like it's $9.99. They show you how much is in stock. That's nice. Order quantity. I'm assuming it doesn't say, but I'm assuming that's in meters. And it is, that's really cheap, even if it is a solid at $9.99 a meter. I'm wondering here if there's some place where I can find something about that. Let's go back to the home page. Do they have an FAQ? No, they don't have an FAQ. About us. Okay, so they talk about Services. But they don't seem to indicate that what their fabric is sold in. And it says buy a yard or two that repair machine. Okay, so their fabric may also be in yards, not in. So I'm a little confused. I'm not impressed by that. I want to know up front how much per meter. I would like to see it in meters or Canadian, and there's nothing here indicating whether that is or not. Okay, well, let's go down a little further and get out of, say, solids. Okay, $14.99 for a blender. That's a good price. That's got to be either a yard or a meter. They have 129 pages. Let's go to the next page. Okay, one of the things I'm not liking here is the fact that we have everything. It doesn't seem to be really organized that well. You've got to browse if you're looking for something specific. Now they do have a 1649. Well, that's cute. Hanging with the gnomes. And that's a good price. Yeah. And I do like, as I said before, they show you how much they have in stock right up front. So that's good. I wonder if we do a search for a name like Northcott. Let's see what comes up. Nothing. Okay. So really, you're going to have to do some hunting for the fabric. Might be worth it because the prices look not too bad. They have flannel, they have minky and fleece. $17.99, $27.99. Okay, $14.99. So prices vary, but still those prices are fairly good. Not a huge selection, however, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not interested in minky or fleece. What I would be interested, though, is in wide back fabric. So can we find that? No. How about 8-inch? That just took me to, oh, no, wait, maybe. Well, it's not really giving me, okay, these prints, it gives us in stock too. But it doesn't say how big it is. It's not telling me anything here, so I don't know. Okay, that's very frustrating because you don't know what you're getting. And that right there would turn me right off. I would not take a chance on buying something unless I had all the details about it. So it seems to me that the way this website has been set up, they've just taken pictures and they don't bother with much of a description on things, which is unfortunate. And yeah, they have some panels. It almost looks to me this store is more interested in selling sewing machines and having classes than really selling fabric. Okay, well, if that is the case, then let's take a look at, say, first of all, classes. Looks like they have 2 outlets, one in Sudbury and one in New Lescott. Okay, so Sewing with Jennifer, it's a drop-in session. Sign up at our Lescott store. Come on out and join me in the fun Wednesday evenings, 5 to 8 p.m. It's $100. So for how many weeks? Oh, here we go. January 15th to April 30th. That was, or is that in the future? I don't know. They didn't put a year. Again, there's some little details here that this makes very confusing. Let's go back. And yeah, gnome stuffy, crafted threads, loops, and stitches retreat. Have a retreat, rework, and rewear. All right, they've got some interesting things that look more like fashion geared rather than quilting. So maybe this store is sewing machines and garment focused rather than quilting focused. At least that's the feel I get from their web page. Let's see, sewing machines. Well, they list Janome, Brother Elna, Fath, and Husqvarna. And that's it. So I went in and did all machines, and they only have two. They have the Continental M17 by Janome, and they have the Fath, and you have to call them for pricing. Well, that's disappointing. Let's go into the specific section. Oh no, here we go. I guess don't go to the all sewing machines one. You have to go to the specific brand. What do they sell in Janome's? Yeah, okay, so they've got a wide variety of sewing machines. Okay, but that is very, very confusing in that section. Thread. Well, it's Mettler. And I'm not sure. I don't buy Mettler, so I'm not sure if that's a good price or not. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me, though. But is it only Mettler that they sell? Yep, pretty much. Sulky Invisible. Okay. And then they have sewing machine accessories. All right. So let's go to Janome accessories because I'm a Janome boy. And yeah, okay. All right, anything else we need to look at? Well, they do machine cleaning and repairs. They do long arm services. They tell you how to prepare it and everything like that and the pricing. Edge to edge, 2.5 cents per square inch. Custom, it looks like you have to talk to them about that, which, yes, I could see that. Machine cleaning and repairs, alterations. Yeah, so they do alterations to garments, I guess. Yeah. So again, they're more geared to selling sewing machines and garments, I think, than quilting. About us. Okay, quickly, I'm scanning this. Services. Yeah, again, definitely focused on selling machines and garment sewing. Okay, latest news. Well, here they're showing a quilt. So, well, that's interesting. Looks like they had an outdoor sort of retreat in a protected environment. That would be cool. As long as the weather was nice, that would be very cool. Yeah, it looks like lots of space. Yeah. Oh, it looks like it might be screened in. That's really neat. Okay. It's called Crafters Camp. All right. And their social. Okay. All right. Well, this one's a hard one to assess. I think it's really geared towards people who are garment sewers and also for people who are looking for a sewing machine. They have a good collection of that. Their prices on the fabric that they do have is fairly reasonable from what I can tell. Little disappointed that I think they sell in yards and meters. And the website itself is a little awkward to navigate. So for all those reasons, I'm going to give Gem Sewing 6 out of 10. So that brings me to the end of this edition or this episode of the Idiot Quilter. Just quickie reminders, pop-up sew day this Saturday, August the 30th, 2025, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern, ending at 5 p.m. Eastern. All are welcome. Come and go. Links in the show notes below. And the fall retreat. Just mark on your calendar, Saturday, October the 25th for the fall retreat. More details to come soon. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's time for me to go out for my walk, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.